Hi, Nick here. I'm gonna show you guys how to put Android 4.4.4 on a PC flash drive and install it onto the flash drive and have it natively running off of that flash drive. Now, a lot of people have made tutorials about this, and everyone has done it basically not wrong, but incorrectly. Yeah, I know those words are the same. But basically, when people install it onto a flash drive, they just copy that ISO image to a flash drive, and basically that's all they do. They don't actually install the image to the flash drive. So if you shut down Android, basically you can't save anything you've done, and when you reboot it, it goes back to the setup again, and that's not what you want to happen. You want it to actually go back to where you left it, the image to stay the same. So I'm going to walk you through on how to install it to the flash drive. Now, doing this is your own risk. You're going to have to erase the flash drive, so make sure you back up anything off the flash drive. And on top of that, make sure that you don't save anything to the flash drive after you do this, because it will cause problems to the Android system. I mean, you could possibly save stuff to the flash drive, but you are risking that the files on the flash drive will be corrupted for Android. So let me get started. I'm going to do a quick cut and then we'll get started. Alright. Just to make a quick note, I am filming this with my phone, so it's not going to be the highest quality video, but at least it will get the job done. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to the internet, hang on, and you're going to want to type in Android x86, and then you're going to want to go to the first website, www.android-x86.org. It's up there. And then you're going to want to go to download. And you're going to want to scroll down until you see the version that you want. And this tutorial should work for any version of Android. I'm going to be doing 4.4.2. I already downloaded it. This is the one I'm going to be doing, the R2. R2, I think it stands for Revision 2. It's just the second version that was ever created. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it stands for. I'm not 100% sure. Once you download that, you're going to get this file, which is an ISO. And all you have to do is open up your DVD drive. Hang on, let me get a blank disk. I'm going to pause the camera, put a blank disk in there, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, now there's a blank disk in the drive, and I do recommend DVD-R, even though it's 388 megabytes. I still recommend a DVD-R because I've installed this with a CDR, and it wouldn't boot. So it's a really good idea to install it onto a DVD-R. I have not tested RW. I'm assuming it will work the same. Just pop it in your drive. Yep, that's a Blu-ray drive. Once you pop it in your drive, you're gonna want to open a little window will come up. Just close it, and then you're gonna want to burn it to a DVD. Yeah, this window comes up. Just close it. And then on Windows 7, you just right-click, open with Windows Disk Image Burner, and you choose the drive. It's a Blu-ray drive, but there's a DVD in there, and you just want to hit burn. Let it burn. And the reason why we're burning it to a DVD instead of just copying the image to a flash drive is because if you just copy this ISO file to a flash drive, it will boot if you use the right software, but it will not be able to save all your files to the flash drive. It will essentially be it will be like a brand new system every time you boot it up, and that's not the right way of doing it. If you burn it to a DVD or a CD, and then you basically burn it to a disk, then you install the disk to the flash drive, then the flash drive will now have the image and the bootable file. That's not complicated enough. It should be pretty simple to do, and someone with at least middle school education should be able to do this. I'm a college student, but basically I'm computer science. So, but it should be pretty easy for someone in middle school or high school or someone in college to do. It's just a fun project to have on Android, on a flash drive. You could just boot it up on any PC, on the planet, and it's just really awesome. Alright, so now it's finalizing the disk. Just let it do its thing, and then the disk should pop out when it's done. I'll show that happening. It's pretty cool. It's finalizing the disk. Windows typically does a really good job. If you don't have Windows on your computer, like Linux, you're gonna need just whatever comes with Linux. I'm not 100% sure, but here, it's not gonna pop it out. There goes the disk drive. You might want to write on this or not. By the way, Android on a PC is 100% legal. It's open source. It's Android's open source, so open source means you can do whatever the heck you want with it, and you don't have to pay money. Well, not really whatever the heck you want, but Android is open source, and open source means you can legally download it, modify it, and distribute it for free. So, I don't know if the Android x86 project is open source. That's why I'm going to provide direct links to their website, not my website. So, here, maybe all you have to do now is just restart your computer. Sorry about that. I almost forgot. You have to reformat the flash drive first. So you want to go into Windows and you want to basically clean this flash drive. So you want to go down to Format, okay, and then FAT32, and you want to choose everything default. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Android. It already has Android on there. I'm going to work on making an Android L tutorial someday. That will be done. Okay, format complete. Alright, once it's formatted, now you want to restart your computer. So you want to restart into the DVD, and you also want to make sure that the SATA operation on your BIOS is set to so you want, on this computer it's a Dell, you want to press F2 as you turn it on, so you can go into the BIOS, and then you can go into system configuration, SATA operation. You want it set to AHCI when you're installing Android onto a flash drive. I don't know why it doesn't work on IDE or ATA. It just won't boot. And then you want to hit F12 on this particular Dell, but you want to get into this menu where it shows all your bootable drives. And then you want to go down to CD, DVD, or W. And here's the part where everyone gets it wrong. You want to go down to install, and you don't want to install this on your main hard drive because you will run into a ton of problems. You won't be able to boot Windows, or you might be able to boot Windows, but it might corrupt your Windows installation. So you really want to install this onto the flash drive. So be really wary what you do next, because you could potentially erase your entire Windows installation. and you don't want to do that, and I'm not responsible if you do that, you know. So then you just want to hit tab. See, it says tab to edit options, and you want to make sure you're on install, and you hit tab. And this is the part where everyone gets it wrong. You want to turn on caps lock, and you want to type in uvisa underscore mode, and then you want to type in your display resolution. If you don't know what it is, the best option is just to type in the highest possible, like 1920 by, and you want a little X here, by 1080, and then by 32. So uvisa mode underscore 1920 by 1080. If you do this, it will default to 1920 by 1080, and if your screen resolution is lower than 1920 by 1080, it will default to whatever your native resolution is without adjusting it. So you don't have to do it every time you boot up, and plus Android will be in your native resolution, which is really nice. And you just want to hit enter, and I'll pause it here. Good, there it goes, it's booting up. It's pretty cool how it shows all the kernels. So, then you want to go down to where it says cruiser. See, this is a SanDisk cruiser. So you want to select your cruiser. Whatever flash drive brand you guys are using, make sure you select your flash drive. You don't want to select one of these because this is my main hard drive. You don't want to choose your main hard drive because it will erase Windows, and I know you guys don't want that. So just select your flash drive, and it should say Win95 FAT32 if you formatted it correctly first. And just to say, this might not work on a Mac. If you install this and you're using a Mac, it's probably not going to work. You're going to need a Windows PC. Then just hit enter, and it will say, do you want to format? Just hit do not format, and it will say, do you want to install Grub? You want to hit yes. Grub should install on your flash drive only. If it does on your main hard drive, I don't know how to fix that. It's really bad if it does. And like I'm saying, do this at your own risk. You want to hit yes. And then it says, do you want it to be read-write? Now, I'm a developer, so I do a lot of debugging, so this is a yes to me. This is optional. You can make it no. It looks like the default option was yes, and you just want to hit install. So now it's installing. It takes a while because it's coming off a CD, but if you notice, your flash drive will start blinking, and it's installing it directly to the flash drive. And essentially, like I keep saying, everyone on YouTube did it wrong this tutorial. Installing the ISO image directly to the flash drive is not what you want. If you do it that way, you'll basically have a bootable Android image on the flash drive, but you won't be able to save anything to it. Anything you save to it will be deleted the minute you shut it down. And then when you boot it up again, you'll have a brand new system again. Some people like that, but if you're an Android user and you really want to save files and work with music and pictures and videos, what Android is meant to be used on, then you want to install it like this to the flash drive. It's really recommended that you do it this way. I'm going to pause the video here and get back to you when something else happens. Okay, we're at like 92% now. I don't know if I stated this before, but you're going to want at least a 4 GB flash drive or larger. If it's not 4 GB, you're probably not going to be able to do much with it, you know. I have a 16 GB flash drive. It's really recommended that you have at least 8 GB of flash drive, you know. So now it's going to ask you, do you want to create a disk image to save user data to? You're going to want to hit yes. That's the whole point of installing to a flash drive, so you could save files to it. You're going to want to type in the maximum that your flash drive can take. I think the image was about, I don't know. You're going to want to type in 2047. If you have a 4 gigabyte flash drive, this might work. If you have less than 4 gigs, it's probably not going to be able to put a 2047 gigabyte file on there. And if you have a 8 gigabyte, you're fine. If you have 16 gigabyte, you're totally fine. Anything bigger than 16 gigabyte, don't even worry about it. Just want to hit 2047, and then you want to hit enter. And now it will write the SD card, the fake SD card that will save all your user data onto the flash drive. So it's installing to the flash drive. Alright, so we'll be back when this is done. We're at 93%, but on a happier note, if you do it correctly, you'll be able to play games on your PC that you bought on the Google Play Store. You'll also be able to play only Android, Android only games like, I don't know, like you could play some free games like Cut the Rope and stuff like that. They're not going to run as nice as on a new tablet, but if you have a pretty high spec PC, it will run really well. So now it goes through this, and you'll see this blinking thing down there. Don't be worried. Yeah, you can play Cut the Rope on here. You can play a whole bunch of other stuff, but the thing is, you're gonna have to use your mouse, so games won't be that fun. But a lot of the productivity apps will run really nicely, like Polaris Office and stuff like that. But what's really cool is you have Android on a flash drive, and you can bring it to a friend's house and plug it in and get it to work. But I don't recommend plugging that into your work computer or a school computer, because you can get into a lot of trouble with your school or your workplace by plugging in a flash drive and trying to boot from it. Okay, so here we're at this screen. You want to go down to reboot. Don't hit run Android x86. You want to go down to reboot. Press enter. Reboots. Then you just want to hit F12. And then you can take out your CD, or DVD in this case. You take out your DVD, and you want to go up to USB storage device. And then it says Android 4.4. I don't know if I said 4.4.2. I don't know if it's 4.4.2 or 4.4.4. I know it's one of the two. And if you notice, my screen just flashed because of that UVisa command we typed in during the installation. It allows Android to go to my native resolution, which is 1440 by 900. And this is a Dell Latitude E6500, in case you guys are wondering. And it has an Intel Express chipset number 4. That's the graphics card. And it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, and a Blu-ray drive, and a Samsung 840 EVO hard drive. So right now it's booting up Android. That was the specs of my computer. It's booting up Android right now. And if you notice, it's not in that dodgy 800 by 600 resolution. It's in the full 1440 by 900 resolution, because we set the UVisa mode to 1920 by 1080. It will default to whatever the monitor's highest resolution is if you set the UVisa mode before you install it. This also applies if you're going to install it onto a hard drive. You would have to type in UVisa mode, and then it would go to your resolution. I have not yet seen one YouTube tutorial that shows that's how you're supposed to do it. I googled on the forums, and I found the command, and it does work. And basically that's how I figured it out. It does work, as you can see. We'll come back when it does something exciting. Alright, now we've got select our country and next button. You just want to hit next. And it says just a sec. And if you notice, it's in my native resolution, which is really, really nice. And my mouse is detected and everything. And even the little pointing stick in the middle of my keyboard, it works too, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they still put those pointing sticks on the computers anymore. By the way, this is going to be a pretty long tutorial. You could stop it at this point because this is just setting it up, but I just want to show you guys that it actually works. Give it a second. This is just a sec. It's really, I think what it's doing is detecting my Wi-Fi networks and my Wi-Fi password and everything. So there it goes. Found my Wi-Fi card. Majority of Wi-Fi cards should work out of the box. Let me just connect to this and we'll be back. There we are. I'm now connected to my Wi-Fi. It's still saying just a sec. And I do have a Google account. Okay, I'll be back after I enter all this. Okay, it just signed me in, and now it's saying, do I want to back up and restore, or why not? Next. And then it says restoring. This always takes a while. And then it just says your name. Yeah, Nick Silverstein. Just hit next. Because it will basically make every app use that name, which is pretty cool. And then there we are. Now we're at the desktop. Cool. Just gotta click OK on that, and then essentially focus it a little better. Now we have Android, and yeah, it's gonna bring that up. But it shows that it's in my native resolution because you can see how crisp those icons are. If it was not in your native resolution, it would look a lot more blurry. And just to prove that the Google Play Store works, you open it up and you can download apps. I don't know. Let's just download Dropbox just so that we can see that, prove that it works. So let's install. And this is running on a PC based hardware, you know. It's a little slow. It's slower than most tablets, but right now it's restoring everything. So that's probably why it's really slow. But it's right now it seems a lot faster than my Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, which is it's an old tablet. There you can see Dropbox installed. Let's launch browser, Google. There we are. Shows that it works, shows that it's pretty fast and snappy. You know, it's faster than like Windows 10 on this old computer. This computer is from like 2008, 2010-ish. It runs Android pretty well off a flash drive, you know, and it's running all of that flash drive. And so let's shut it down, and we will get back to Windows just to prove that Windows is still working, you know. Okay, good. The computer shut down. Now let's hit F12 again. Shows it there. There we go. Internal HDD. And as you can see, there's no grub on the hard drive. No nothing. And it's booting back into Windows. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day. Alright, as always, peace.